So yeah, welcome to this new kind of format of video, and this is going to be a series of videos. They will be coming out every Saturday morning. That's at least the plan. So grab a coffee or a small cup of whiskey if you like. And the goal is basically that I talk about one image I took in my so-called photography career, if you want to call it like that, and just talk about a number of different things. If the image works, the composition, how it turned out, are there distracting things in the image? What did I think when editing or to consider it? And also the story behind the image, all sorts of things, just talking about one image, really trying to go in depth and talk about it and think about it and reflect kind of on my own work. And yeah, just to confront myself a little bit more with what I'm doing, how am I doing it. And yeah, just lean back, enjoy this video, have fun, drink your coffee or your whiskey in the morning. And yeah, also keep in mind that every week I will change the image. So we are starting off with a black and white image. Next week, hopefully, we will have a color image, and then again a black and white, color, black and white, color. So there's a little bit of mix and change right there. So yeah, without further ado and much more talking, we jump straight into Photoshop, have a look at the image, see what we can get out of it. Yeah, so right there you can see the first image, or the image of the week, hashtag #1, the first one. And yeah, first of all, a little side story or how this image came together. So this is at the Lake of Constance. There's an island called Lindau, and there are a lot of places like this around the lake where you have like walking places, however, and you can see the lake in the background. And basically during all time of the year there are people walking by, and it's really fun to walk at the lake because it's always changing. You have storms, you have super nice sunsets, you have all kinds of different tourists, people from the hometown. Yeah, it's crazy. Well, it's not like crazy, but you get it. A bunch of different people and ever-changing weather is pretty nice. And the scenery around the lake is always stunning. So there's that. And yeah, so this was shot on a rather moody and cloudy day during wintertime, because wintertime is like my main time for black and white photography. So you can kind of sort my pictures if it's color. There's a 80% chance that it was shot in the summer, and if it's black and white, there's a 80% chance that it was shot during the winter time. And this is no other. This was certainly shot during the winter time. And yeah, so it's pretty simple. I'm excusing for the noise outdoors. I don't know if you can hear it. Yeah, so it's pretty simple. I did mark some notes right there, but let's talk about the image in general, ignoring the notes. We have, I don't know, a human, obviously, walking by at the lake. He has an umbrella in one hand, a phone in the other, and he has a baseball hat on, which is quite nice. And yeah, it's a really simple black and white image. Or like from the composition on, it's like really simple. I didn't shoot it in parallel, but like at a slight angle towards the person, or the direction of which the person is walking. And yeah, there's like some quite heavy contrast going on. So the subject itself is pure black basically, and in the background we are really at the brink of overexposing. Like just a notch under, I would say. And yeah, like you have this balustrade thingy going on in the background, which is quite nice. It kind of adds a leading line, or like parallel to a line of which this person is walking. And yeah, so let's talk about the different notes I did take on this image. On the upper left corner, you can write C. I marked distraction ? So yeah, you have a part of a tree in it, and I'm not totally sure, like the old me, or in my mind, I would probably have liked to have photoshopped it out, because it doesn't really add on to the scene, like if it's there, it doesn't tell more of a story, and if it wasn't there, it wouldn't tell not much of a story either. So yeah, there's not really an importance. The main reason I didn't Photoshop it out, I would have had quite a lot of negative space, like in the upper 2/3 of the image, I would say, around the subject. And maybe that would have been a little bit too much negative space. I'm not totally sure. I left it in. Yeah, it's the reason why I marked it too, because like I don't really know if it would have been better to Photoshop it out or not. I think you can leave it in, keep it as natural as possible. It's always nice. So we have the tree in the upper left side. The next thing which we can notice or see, or even not see, is I marked it in blue. Is it too dark ? So as you may already see, the image has quite some hefty contrast going on. And for the ground on which this person is walking on, it's no other. We have right in the left corner a pretty big dark spot, which I think like the tree may have put on some kind of little shadow, even it was a pretty cloudy day. And yeah, you can't really make out any details, a little bit when you go more towards the middle of the image, but not that much. And honestly, I would have preferred if you can see a little bit more of the ground on which this person is walking on. Because like around the subject itself, you have a pretty nice kind of gray and texture on the ground, which is like really nice and really adds to the image. But on the left, it's basically pure black, and it makes it heavy on the left side. You have on the upper left, you have this tree being in the image, or at least parts of it, and then you have like this dark area on the left side as well, where you can't make out any details. Yeah, it's not the best. And on the right side, there's basically the same game. It's not as dark as on the left, but it gets quite dark as well. So yeah, probably, or I would or should have probably in Lightroom put some radial mask around it and like brighten it up just a notch and lifting the shadows a bit more, so it doesn't get as dark as it is now. Yeah, the next thing you're going to notice or not, and which plays in part to these dark areas at the corners, is I have quite a heavy vignette, or for my mind at least. This comes from a shoot on old Olympus manual focus lenses, and yeah, like they are, I guess for their time they were pretty popular. But I would also say they are not well known, but at least when I use it, I know they are pretty hefty vignetting. And here it's no over, especially when you have a quite even and flat lit sky, you can always make out the vignetting pretty easily. And there's no lens correction for it, as it is an old lens on a Canon camera, doesn't it? Add on. Yeah, so, and with coming back to vignetting, you can see it. I would also put it as a distraction of the image. Yeah, like it is distracting on the right side, on the top of the image, and it plays probably its role on darken the right and left corners on the downside of the image. And yeah, like even if you look around on the left side, you can kinda make it even out on the lake, that you have like a somewhat dark area of the lake and then sort of a halo around, in the center, a halo which is brighter. So yeah, the vignetting is pretty hefty. And the problem is, I could get around it and crop the image, but if I would crop it, I would change my composition to a point where it wouldn't be as strong as it is now. And what I mean by that is, right now, how I placed this person when he, yes, it's a he, when this person or he is walking, he's not in the middle, but he's a notch on the right of the middle. So I framed it not like that I have 2/3 of the image in front of him where he can walk into it, but I framed it like this, that he's basically walking out of the image. There's a difference. And yeah, so if I would have cropped it differently, he would be more walking into the image than walking out of the image. And it just wouldn't be as good, I think, out of my mind. But yeah, that's an opinion. If you have different, let me know it. And yeah, what else we can notice is we have some, because obviously he's having or wearing an umbrella, there's a nice patch of water right there, and with a little bit of a reflection from this balustrade thingy going on. And it basically, or almost, looks like it's like right on the water, and it's not like a wall, but in reality you are like 3 meters above the water and not on the same level. Yeah, and I think this reflection and with this little rainwater thing going on, it's quite nice. Also, the reason, or there's always a trigger for a photograph to basically why I want to take it. And in this case, obviously he's carrying an umbrella, he has a baseball hat on, and he's holding his phone, so that makes for 3 aspects or 3 reasons for me to take this image. And yeah, it quite works out well for the subject, because you can tell a little bit of a story, you know? You see that it obviously has rained in the last couple of days, and you have like a muddy ground. Even though the sky is overexposed, you can also kinda tell on the general mood of this image that it was a cloudy forecast day and not sunny. And yeah, that's like a little story coming together. And another nice little aspect of this image is that you can see his face contours pretty visible. So it's like you can make out his nose form, his mouth form. Here's his, from his jacket he is wearing, you can also see a little bit part of that. You can see holding his phone. So you have a pretty much clear defined silhouette of this person with a baseball hat, carrying the umbrella and his phone. And it just tells on a pretty minimalistic and so-called easy image, because there's not much going on. There's not a heavy focus on composition. A little story, man walking, it's a cloudy or somewhat rainy day. He's probably telephoning with someone or someone, yeah. And yeah, that's it. So I don't know, there's not much more to tell or see about this image. And would if I had done things different, for sure. But in the moment you can't not incorporate all the aspects of it and see everything as in post, where you have like all the day time to decompose your image and see every little detail which you don't all the time see in the reality. But yeah. So yeah, I hope that you did enjoy your Saturday morning with a cup of coffee and this week's image of a week analysis. And yeah, I'm hoping that you can kind of get an image and understand what I'm trying to explain, and yeah, make you see basically the image, how it works, what am I thinking, and a little bit also the story and how the images are coming together, what are the reasons why I take it. And yeah, so at this point, if you are still watching, thank you for watching. Always consider a like and subscribe, and until next week's video, which will be a color image. So stay alert for that.